again be going down into that jungle position. And the Malphite, I know Malphite is a pretty good pick for Urion in the
Indeed.
topside jungle. Soraka immediately picked up for Juice Me Family.
What's going on? What's Juice Me Bommy?
I don't know if Juice Me
Probably.
Bommy uh
Wait a minute. Wait.
uh
What?
uh
What does it say in the league thing? That's a Nivea, not Raka. That makes sense. Okay.
okay.
So
All
that's
right.
an Nivea.
All right.
Okay, we gotta know.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. That is an Anivia, not a
Yes.
Soraka pickup
Yes.
for Juice Me Family. So it'll be Anivia mid lane, Nami bot lane, Twitch, I believe Super Kami and Super Hoagie will be switching, so Hoagie will in fact be in the support position as
Yes.
opposed to Super Kami being in the AD carry position.
The
Very we haven't seen Juice Me Daddy this season on the Ornn. I know it's game 2, or rather it's match 2. We haven't seen him on the Ornn, so it'll be interesting to see what he has available. We've seen Juice Mommy on the Nocturne pick before against Labby on the Lee Sin. Maya, what do you think about that matchup, the Lee Sin versus the Nocturne?
well, Lee Sin's gonna have the early game advantage in my opinion. Nocturne's not really great at ganking pre-6. He kind of struggles with that. He really just wants that ultimate to start doing things. So Labby's Ligma is going to have the early game advantage with that Lee Sin, hopefully putting a lot of pressure around the map.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it does look to be a Malphite versus Ornn top lane. From what I know of with both of those champions, I believe Ornn has the better matchup. Ornn as a tanky top laner just brings so much to the team fight in terms of engage and subsequently disengage. In the lane, Ornn can be very, very valuable in the fact that he doesn't have to back in order to get those item spikes that, a lot of, well, pretty much everyone has to. He can just build them right there in lane and grab the advantage, whereas Malphite really doesn't have a way of doing that. If he wants to back and then TP back into lane, that's one thing, but then Ornn automatically has the TP advantage. So it depends on whether or not they're gonna have that jungle presence. Like you said, my Labby's Ligma automatically have the Lee Sin jungle presence, to whereas Juice Me Family does not. So I think that's gonna probably be like our highest volatility lane,
Yeah, the
in my
jungle matchup for
opinion.
sure.
Yeah, I think that's where Juice Me Family or Labby's Ligma to trying to get their leg up. Anivia versus Ari, I'm not too familiar with that lane, but I do believe Ari has better matchup post 6 because of the fact that the wave clear is a lot safer. I think that's going to be the case. And then
Once
Alistar Kaisa, Alistar, well, rather Nami. Nami is one of the highest rated supports at the moment because of the fact she can deal a lot of damage while also healing her co-laner, in this case being the Twitch. Twitch
yeah.
doesn't really come online until maybe like 10 to 15 minutes into the game. Once he gets that Blade of the Ruined King plus maybe a couple of items. So I don't know. This is a pretty fair fight. It just really depends
Indeed.
on how the first 10 minutes of the game is gonna go.
For sure.
But Maya, what do you think? Who do you think is gonna take this game just from the team comps alone?
And once again, I think Labby's Ligma is going to take it because they got the same exact bot lane, which was so pivotal in their first win, which they got Alistar Kaisa again. It's going to be aggressive, and they're going to be able to get that bot lane ahead like they did in game 1. So we might see a kind of a repeat, but we also got a very different team comp coming out from Juice Me REE, so it'll be very interesting to see how that goes for them.
Yeah, I think Juice Me Reed takes it here. Nami is just so well. I don't want to say is underrated because a lot of the higher elo people know Nami's availability and the fact that she can just really output the damage. It just depends on if Hoagie focuses more on the poke rather than the healing aspect. A Nami that is very aggressive usually wins the laner early because of that damage on the, I believe it is the W, which also heals her. And then they have a lot more burst potential coming out of the Nocturne. Nocturne has the possibility of bursting either the Kaisa or the Ari down early, depending on how he can get those ganks through. I think Juice Me Family takes it in this situation. If yeah, I think Just Me Family takes it to a 1-1 tie. But in the chat, we definitely like to know what your opinions are. So write them down in the chat or give us a hashtag LLWin or a hashtag rewin. We're
Alrighty.
definitely looking at the chat right now to see who we have.
Indeed.
10 viewers.
Looks like we've
Thanks
got
for
the
showing up.
Ignite on Nami and the Ignite in the mid lane also for that, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Both of those mid laners are looking for kills.
Mm-hmm.
She and Nivea into the Ari is going to be it's going to be interesting. I have not seen that matchup in a while. Those two champions, so
It's just a lot of wave clear, and honestly,
yeah,
it's a really good fit into Juice Me Family's comp because you don't have a lot of wave clear from the Nami, from the Nocturne,
yeah, for sure.
or from the Twitch, so it's definitely welcomed into their comp.
Indeed.
But it's the assassin aspect. For Ari being one of the higher win rate champions at the moment in solo queue, definitely have to look out for that as well. It really depends on how I believe it is Bear that takes that RE, how he does in getting that assassination. I definitely think he's gonna go in the bot lane and try and apply as much pressure for the Alistar and as well for Kaisa, especially very early because I think Ari has a better time shoving the lane uh, against an Anivia pre-6. So if I'm juicing Lami, I'm definitely hovering around that bot side, waiting for that shove from Bear Jr. and be ready for the counter gank whenever possible.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we're gonna have another noodle fight top lane though with the Ornn and Malphite, which probably I'd give the advantage to Ornn just mostly on he's just got a lot
Mm-hmm.
of harass and magic damage, which the Malphite does not have a lot of magic resist naturally. So
Yeah, it's a lot. I think it deals a lot with the health percentage on the Breath's Bellow.
yeah,
Urion is naturally going to go a little bit tankier, a little bit beefier, and as that goes on, W just gets more and more value. And honestly, Malphite doesn't have the best poke as well whenever it comes to an Ornn because Ornn really doesn't care about any poke that he takes in lane because like I said, the health advantage that Ornn bring to the table is just very circumstantial. Like against a Maokai, against a Malphite, or against another tankier top laner, will have a relatively okay time in lane.
indeed. I think the spot lane's going to be pretty pivotal as well though, because that was a big portion of the why the LIGMA was able to prevail because they got that ahead, and then the jungle. That's the two lanes I think we're gonna mostly need to look out for. See
Mm-hmm.
how they go in this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the hyper carry on Twitch. If this game goes to above 25-30 minutes, I don't really see a way for Labby to be able to deal with a Twitch outside of a high profile engage from Urion on Malphite.
Yeah, it's true.
Other than that, Ari may be able to try and get the pick on Juice Mikami, but it's going to be very hard if Juice Mikami puts
And okay,
it he's very well known for on his Kaisa. If he can position himself well in the team fights post 25-30 minutes, I don't really think Juice Me Family will have an issue just cutting down through these tankier members of Biscuit Hat and Urion on the Alistar and the Malphite.
Indeed.
But
And
it all just
clients,
depends.
client's a bit behind right now, showing black screen right now. I'd have to change a
It's all
setting between Chrome and whatnot. So,
yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
but
Just to let you guys know what's happening on stream right now, it looks like Juice Me Family is looking for an invade here. Labby's Ligma will scout this out. Not really much, as Juice Me Mommy is going to stay in this tri-bush. They're going to go ahead and ward it, so they're very wary of this possible gank. Bear Jr. is in that pixel brush. Gonna go ahead and deal a little bit of damage there. The electrocute will go through, but otherwise, not really looking for anything else.
I can at least hear sound right now. It's just visuals are not working right now for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if I computer would just be cool, that would be nice. And can you still hear me, Sebastian? Or yeah, okay, you're still there. Cool. There we go. So I'm just gonna restart the client real quick.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a little bit. What happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna restart the client real quick for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So stream can't see anything that we're seeing right now?
Not currently, no. It should be.
Well, alright. I'll give my best play-by-play analysis.
Get that baseball casting going.
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, reconnecting now, so it should be good then.
Alright, so Bear Jr. applying a lot of pressure into the lane. Juice Me Blue, about maybe half to a sixth of his health bar up right now to Bear Jr.'s quarter health. Definitely taking a lot of early harass there. But as I said before in the pregame, I'm not really surprised. Bear Jr. on the RE is going to apply a lot of pressure early before Anivia can really get into that ultimate wave clear that is so highly valued after she turns level 6.
Are you good, Maria?
All right, we're loading in now.
All right, awesome.
It's just a little weird at first. I forgot to change a setting before we got into game, and then once I changed it, it just was like so.
Yeah. So Labby is stalking in the top lane right now. Does get spotted out by a ward that Juice Me Daddy has in the top lane. Nothing gonna really come out of it, as Juice Me Mommy is on his Raptors. However, Labby is still there in the top lane, trying to make something happen early on Juice Me Daddy on this Ornn. Is gonna come in for the gank. Directed camera, not really gonna care, as Labyrinth 1898 is just gonna back inside of the bush.
Looks like the Elysian's back. He gets a longsword, and looks like that's it. He's just walking back from longsword. So. Nocturne's
Not going
out farming greatly though. He's 10 CS up in the jungle, so.
Yeah, was able to get the Raptor
clear.
camp and is now looking for the Krugs as well.
He just did a full clear, so.
Are
you at 420
19,
now?
20, 21, 22. Yeah. Alright, so we're on the same spot. Oh my god, Juice Me Daddy being very aggressive here on getting the full rotation off. Urion looking worse for wear with no mana available. Went that Arcane Comet build, but as I said before in the pregame, Juice Me Daddy on the Ornn in general does not really care about the early game poke. He's gonna be able to get that level 5 early, and I don't think Urion really has a way into this lane past Labby coming back up and trying to pressure this.
Damn it, the titles are backwards. What?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, actually, no. Change them.
Alright. Sorry, stream, if there's any, like,
As we see
buffering here.
here on, it seems as if Labby's Ligma have vision onto Juice Me Mommy due to that that relatively deep ward in the back of the Dragon Pit. Gonna be able to scout out Juice Me Mommy. A little bit of a trade here on Bear Jr. and the Anivia. Biscuit Hat trying to make something happen with this trade, but Juice Me Kami coming out ahead onto Chad Penguin. Even CS all the way around. Juice Me Hoagie taking a lot of damage here, almost going down, but again, that Nami W, believe it's called her Ebb and Flow. Heal her whatever damage she just took.
What time are you at?
6:15, 6:16.
I need to catch up a little bit. We'll do the double time. Alright, the titles are fixed now, I think.
28, 29, 31.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
Okay, awesome. So, Urion going back, however, does not burn his TP. Very well played there. Just me daddy trying to get aggressive, but does not have the items available. Yeah, just a bit of a wet noodle fight here. As Just Me Daddy and both going at each other.
Oh.
Just Me Daddy has to be wary. He does not have the minion. Ultimate coming down for Urion. Labby is here trying to get the kill. Just does not take the tower aggro, and it looks like he will be able to get out clean. Biscuit Hat in the meantime proccing the passive onto Juice Me Kami. Chad Penguin trying to get as much damage as possible. Juice Me Hoagie missing the bubble, however, will get out clean. Really good stuff there by Labby's Ligma, getting that early kill onto Juice Me Daddy.
Ooh, and then, once again, this Anivia's got 2 trinkets. He hasn't used them yet. Gotta keep your vision score up on all parts of the map. Even your mid laner. Or that ADC.
Yeah, and already looking at a 12 CS deficit 8 minutes into the game. Juice Me Daddy has teleported back into this lane and really putting on the pressure on Urion. However, Urion does have the... Well, actually, Urion does not have the TP available. I guess just TP back into lane and already below... Well, gonna heal up to about a little bit more than his bar. But really interesting to see that Juice Mommy had burned the I believe it's called the Paranoia, however did not engage into that fight into the top lane. He was top side, not really getting anything out of it. So just overall a very big win there for Labby's Ligma, and Juice Me Blue looking a little bit worse for wear there in that mid lane against Bear Jr., who has been able to stay healthy.
Looks like this bot lane has been going pretty even for the most part there, except for that the Nami is working out pretty well for them, it seems. So
yeah, just being able to keep Juice Me Kami alive and in the fight, no matter how much Biscuit Hat wants to try and engage and try to make something happen, cannot doubt that sustainability that Juice Me Hoagie has, that Biscuit Hat just does not on this Alistar.
yeah, this is a very different champion from Caleb compared to last game, where he's just gonna have to play a tank and do tank things, compared to Yorick, where he's split pushing for the entire time.
Yeah, I agree. Paranoia coming down from Juice Me Mom, trying to find Labyrinth 1898. Juice Me Blue actually getting that kill there. Very good stun on the Q, being able to pick up that kill. And I do believe that is double buffs for Juice Me Blue. It is. So he's definitely going to rock those into the bank. Being post 6, just going to go ahead and throw down the ultimate and get as much value as possible.
Oh, Anivia's put down a ward and also cleared a pink ward, so that's getting into that vision pretty well now. There you go.
Yeah, she has two. She has two.
She got
She has
two.
two visions for her. But yeah, very good stuff there on Juice Me Daddy, recognizing that Labby would be there. Juice Me Blue almost getting the Ignite down onto Bear Jr., however, does not take the kill. Very interesting to see that Ignite on the Anivia. We hadn't really touched on that. What are your thoughts on that Ignite Anivia, Maya?
It's interesting, to say the least. I don't know, I don't think Anivia typically tends to take aggressive summoners, you know, or maybe my team take teleport, something like that, because Anivias don't tend to be the most aggressive in lane. They'll just farm up until mid-game, but 1-0 though, got that kill with Juice Me Mommy onto the Lee Sin, so that was really good. Good call by Juice Me Mommy to go in on that Lee Sin.
I would honestly think that maybe even an exhaust would be better. An exhaust, a heal, maybe even a teleport would be better suited against this Ahri. I guess he decides that he wants to go heads up against the Ahri. Like I said, I'm no mid laner, but I don't think an Anivia wants to try and go heads up against another assassin.
It is an interesting choice for sure. And we got Labby sitting right on a ward right here. Quite unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate.
Gotta sweep those if you're gonna wait in the bush. Looks like Nocturne's waiting right there, waiting for them to engage. Which really, I'd like to see the side of Juice Me Free to just kind of bait this out, but they're just playing really passively. And I don't know, looks like it's just gonna be a standoff for a while here. Nocturne gets to take the Gromp now, and got another noodle fight here in the top lane.
Well, Juice Me Daddy putting in a little bit of damage. That health percentage really coming in. Urion actually losing out on the trade.
Neither one of them. Oh, there's the Ornn ult coming out, and
oh, Urion counters with his own. Oh, the breast bellows coming down, and it doesn't.
They both get out with maybe 50 HP. That is something.
Here at PMA LCS, stop playing tanks.
Yeah.
Stop blue balling us with tanks, all right? Because that was a huge engage onto Urion, but it doesn't really matter because of the fact that Juice Me.
Oh man.
Well, Labby going for the Flash Insect forgets that Nocturne has Spell Shield.
Press D and was good to go. That was pretty funny, I gotta say. Yeah, good Spell Shield by Juice Me Mommy there, but interesting choice there by Labby. Unfortunate.
If I can get a Joe in the chat, that'd be great. You know, burning Flash to try and get the godlike insect play on a Nocturne that has Spell Shield up. I mean, at the end of the day, you really hate to see that.
Daddy's getting pretty low in the top lane.
Biscuit Head engaging a little bit. The double bubble hitting onto the bot lane. Chad Penguin is going to go ahead and flash heal out of that. Paranoia being dropped down by Juicy Mommy has not gone through. Is going to find Labby 1898, who is trying to find his way. Ward hops away. Urion looks like he's going to be going down here. Does go down to the bellowing breath of Juice Me Daddy. As we go back bot lane, a lot of action happening here. Chad Penguin using the ultimate and the ignite is going to go ahead and get Juice Me Kami as Bear Jr. shows up to try and clean up the kill onto Juice Me. Oh. Woo!
Wow, that was a lot going on there between top side and bot side. And
yeah, a lot of engages. A lot of engages there, and it looks like Labby's have come out on top with about a 1k gold lead here.
Indeed. CS differentials are pretty close across the board, 10 here and there about, but just minor CS leads, but nothing too crazy yet. Like we saw last game where it was 30 CS in the mid lane at 8 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. And also Labby is looking for this Herald, has a pink ward down. I don't believe Juice Me has any idea that he is doing this. Juice Me Blue
Oh,
is just
he's
worrying about
walking up
his
to it.
lane.
Daddy's walking up to it. Goes to ward.
Oh,
We might see a
yeah.
dead Labby.
Oh, the
Oh, missed
Orn
the
ult,
Ornal.
the call of the Ram God not being able to land, and it looks like Juice Me Daddy is in a very bad position here, as Bear Jr. and Labby are both looking for this kill. Urion is trying to do what he can in order to make this happen. They're posturing for this 3-man dive. Juice Me Daddy has no ultimate, does not have flash available. Urion ulting there is going to grab the kill. Very good stuff there by Labby's Ligma, but Juicy Mommy is here. I don't think he wants to be. This is still a 3v1 situation. Flash in front of Labby is not going to get the kill, and Bear Jr. picks that up for himself.
It's interesting engage there by Juice Me Mommy. Probably should have just avoided the situation to minimize damages, but you know, he thought he could get the kill onto Labby there, but just didn't end up getting it. Didn't come through with it.
Yeah, I think Labby understood that he tried to burst down Juice, or rather, Juice Me Mommy thought he had the AD to be able to burst down Labby, not able to do so, and Bear Jr. taking a kill for himself on the roam, ultimately worth, as he is still ahead in this mid lane matchup CS wise. And now boasting about a 3k gold lead into 16 minutes. Not the worst, but definitely not something Juice Me Kami wants to see as early. As Biscuit Hat goes in for this engage onto Juice Me Kami. Juice Me Kami, yeah, he stops right there.
He had his ultimate.
Oh, Nocturne Paranoia coming through, misses out on the fear on Chad Penguin. Biscuit Hat trying to make something happen. The bubble landing on Chad Penguin. Chad Penguin kiting back is going to get taken down by Juice Me Hoagie. Biscuit Hat burning his own ultimate to try and survive the rest of that damage. Good paranoia there by Juice Me Mommy.
Yeah, you gotta watch the Nocturne ulti post 6. It's a really powerful tool. You're able to respond to any lanes, and so you just have to be able to know where Nocturne is on the map at all times, because that's a pretty big ulti range.
Yeah, absolutely. So now about a 2k gold lead. Yeah, but this mid lane is gonna go ahead and go down here. Menbung, or rather Bear Jr. being very aggressive here on Juice Me Blue, ulting forward, hitting the charm. Juice Me Blue is very low.
Oh my gosh! That was so cool!
Yeah, Labby hitting Juice Me Mommy into the back animation of RE's Q, the Deception Orb, taking the kill for Bear Jr. Bear Jr., however, does lose his life to Juice Me Blue in the process, though. Still very well played by Labby there in that situation.
Indeed, that was pretty sight right there, watching that RE orb come right back as Nivy was flying into it, or actually no, it was Nocturne, but got a couple pink words on the jungle side of Juice Me REE and support, but
yeah, as we look at the vision score here, it does look like Labby's Ligma being ahead in all the counts. Yeah, is ahead in all lanes as far as vision score is concerned. So they're definitely more privy to those rotations, especially if they can catch out Labby on one of those. I'm sorry, not Labby. Juice Me Mommy on those rotations. It is very, very pivotal, because at that point you know when you can be aggressive and when you cannot be aggressive, with that paranoia also always being a factor. Because you know, a 2v2, a 1v1 situation will always go in the favor of the Nocturne if you do not have that vision secured. But really good stuff there for Labby.
We finally see Dragon being picked up at 19 minutes into the game. I feel like Labby's Ligma should have gotten on that a little bit earlier, considering how much just pressure they've had.
Oh, Biscuit Hat going in, burning his ultimate. Bear Jr. also trying to get a Trying to get a charm off pretty early. Bear Jr. gets the charm on to Juice Me Hoagie. Labyrinth gonna take that for himself. And they are looking for this first tower. It looks like they are gonna get it. There are two members of Juice Me trying to respond to this. They don't have the minion wave yet. However, 4v2, definitely not something you're looking for if you're Juice Me Family. Juice Me Kami trying desperately to try and get them off. Actually will succeed as Urion comes in with a high profile engage. Chad Penguin also ults in as well. Juice Me Blue will take down Chad Penguin in the process. The Ornn is here. Call the Rand God taking out two. Urion flashing across the wall. Juice Me Daddy still wants more, trying to find the kill onto Urion, doing a lot of damage. Juice Me Daddy cannot. Labyrinth is going to go ahead and take down the passive of Anivia. Juice Me Daddy knocking him up. Juice Me Hoagie still here trying to put out as much damage as he can. Juice Me Daddy is looking for it. The bubble lands and Juice Me Blue is going to go ahead and take that kill for himself.
Now, that initial engage from Malphite there was interesting. That they didn't see him coming down all the way from this top lane. He just walked there. He did not teleport down. So it's surprising that they did not see that Malphite incoming, and thought to back off a bit more, but
right. But unfortunately for Lively, they did not take down that first tower. First tower is available. Biscuit had taken very, very low, having to burn the ultimate. Well, actually, still has the ultimate available. Flashing out of that situation to try and live. Actually does. First turret is still available for both of these teams. It's a high point of contention.
The mid lane tower is already down.
Oh, Bear Jr. ulting in, missing Juice Me Kami. Doesn't matter. He has a lot of damage. The ignite is burned. Juice Me Kami burning the Blade of the Rune King for a little bit more healing. Will get out alive.
Whew. See Abyssal Mask Rush here from the Ornn against the Malphite, which is pretty good for the most part. There's a lot of magic damage on the side of Labby's Ligma. The only AD really is the some from Kaisa and that's from Lisa, so I think it's a really good first pickup. Also helping that Anivia damage.
Yeah, helping out on the Anivia damage, as well as the fact that Juice Me Daddy does want to spam ultimates. You want to spam your Breath's Bellows as well as your Q and any engage tool that you have. So you're getting a lot of healing off of both of those, as well as doing percent damage to this pretty tanky team of Alistar and Urion, staying alive in a lot of situations where he shouldn't. But as the primary engage, well, yeah, I want to say he's the primary engage in this kind of team comp, or the primary disengage, being able to stay alive in those situations, but still tank down the lighter members of Labby. Urion putting in a lot of damage. Juice Me Mommy is here in the top lane. Yeah, it ults down onto Juice Me Mommy. The Call of the Ram Forge God is coming through, counts down both of those, but it does not look like he will be able to live as Urion takes that kill for himself.
Interesting backwards Sonic Wave there at the end.
It does look like they're posturing for this first turret here. Labby looking to try and secure the first tower, pretty big in terms of gold leads. Will secure it. First tower going down 20. No, mid lane has been gone.
And yeah, bot lane drops recently too. So.
Well,
this Anivia's pretty big though right now. He's 4 kills on 200 CS, and he's got his. Just finished up his Seraph's Embrace and his Rod of Ages, so he is looking quite powerful.
Bear Jr. stuck on a ward, does not know it just yet. 3 members of the Juice Me family are here to try and respond to this bot lane pressure, and it looks like Labby's Ligma is going to go ahead and back off. There's not really any major objectives being taken here aside from Dragon. Dragon will spawn in about a minute.
Yeah, looks like Labby's Ligma is setting up the vision and trying to keep that area under control for their side.
And it does look like they have it in full control. There's not a lot of true vision on the side of Labby's Ligma. However, they do have the vision control available to them, all things considered.
Indeed. And Juice Me REE is still waiting on the Switch to come online.
Oh, Paranoia burned as well as Call the Ram Forge God, only catching the Ari. Juice Me Mommy trying to get onto Bear Jr. is not going to be successful. The ultimate burn by Super Hoagie as well, gonna get bursted down in the combination with Bear Jr. and Chad Penguin. Labyrinth also getting taken down by Juice Me Blue. Uriel with a huge two-man ultimate, trying to find something. The Anivia will go into Egg Force. Will probably go down here. Chad Penguin is putting in a lot of damage. Juice Me Daddy having to back off. Urion still in the plan, is very tanky, wanting to go ahead and grab the kill for Juice Me Daddy. 2 flashes burn on Urion and Chad Penguin, and will get both of them with Ari on the backside taking out Juice Me Mommy.
That is a 5-for-1 for the side of Labby's Ligma, so they're probably going to get an inhibitor off this if they rush it quick enough. You got Twitch coming up in 4, but they should be able to get this inhibitor and then rotate over to the Dragon to get another Cloud Drake for their team.
Yeah, really clean stuff there by the side of Labby's Ligma, really putting in the work and the pressure that Juice Me Family just can't respond to right now. As it looks like they're backing, and are they not going to take this Dragon? Labyrinth 1898 is rotating down. Bear Jr. trying to find a pick, grabbing the charm and both of the Q procs onto Juice Me Kami.
Looks like Elliot's
Juice Me Kami still trying to push them off of this bot lane tower, having to flash away from the damage coming out from Bear Jr., more specifically the charm. Don't think that was worth it for Kami, in my honest opinion. Call the Ram Forge God, they're trying to look for this pick onto Bear Jr. Bear Jr. does not have ultimate available, does not have flash, is going to get taken down by Juice Me Kami in the end. A little bit of an overstay by Bear Jr.
Yeah, indeed. He really wasn't getting much there after, the Twitch flashed away. There wasn't much for him to get in that bot lane much, but he kind of just stuck around. So we got red team pinging Baron, but I do not know. But looks like they're rotating mid now, just gonna clear out those super minions and just try to prepare for the next fight, which they might try to initiate since their Ari is down, which is a huge portion of the side of Labby's Ligma.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, by the way, since chat is flaming, Bastion is also a. However you want to interpret that, please do. As I'm trying to play-by-play this cast, Juice Me Family looking to siege down this mid turret, which is very low. Trying to make something, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to do anything as 4 members from Labby's Ligma respond to it.
And it appears that there's only, as Violet Sociocat has pointed out in the chat, there's only 4 pink words in the in everybody's inventory across both teams, and that's pretty different for her compared to the 30 that she's usually seen on like her own team. So
yeah, on
off a bit.
Pink, in the words of Violet Sociocat, pink words OP.
Pink words OP. Labby's Ligma starting up this Baron though, and looks like they're going to be able to, well, still have that blast cone for contention. He's going in. He steals the Baron. Oh man.
They need to leave. They need to leave right now.
Yeah,
Juice Me Mommy has sacrificed his life for that Baron. They need to get out as soon as possible. Juice Me Hope is going to go down as well. Juice Me Daddy trying to call the Forge God, trying to get out of there. Needs to do whatever he can to save as many Bear buffs as he can. Juice Me Kami trying to burst down Bear Jr. That is not a good idea as Bear Jr. assassinates Juice Me Kami. Very questionable play there by Juice Me Kami. Kind of have to get out of there. You have the steal. You have to walk out of there with as many Baron buffs as you can. And unfortunately, Juice Me Family only walking out with 2.
And like keep the Baron buff. You hate to see that. You kind of, when you steal Baron, you just got to take that and you got to run. But they did not do the running part too well.
As Biscat taking a lot of damage there, having to burn the ultimate. Actually, a lot of damage coming out from Juice Me Blue. Is 5-1, kind of the unsung hero of this game. As Juice Me Dead taking a lot of damage as well, is very tanky with that Abyssal Mask. However, it does look like Labby's Ligma is doing its best. Yurion bursting down. Oh, there's a lot of team fighting happening. The Paranoia is burned. Bear Jr. trying his best to take down Juice Me Kami. Juice Me Kami is going to go down by the hands of Labyrinth. The ult back onto Juice Me Mommy. I do believe this is game.
Yeah, this should be the game here. They should be able to hit these Nexus towers and clear it up. It's a shame. I thought with that Baron steal they were going to be able to turn it around pretty, but they only got 2 out with the Baron, so.
Yeah, and it looks like Juice Me Hoagie will be the last person to go down.
Indeed.
The Nexus is going to go down to Labby's Ligma, a 2-0 victory for them here in this match.
Indeed.
Wow.
What a good series. Game 1 was pretty close game for a while there, and then game 2, Labby's Ligma were able to keep control of the game for most of it. There was a little bits of hopes here and there for Juice Me REE, but
again, it just harkens back to that Baron where Juice Me Kami tried to burst down Bear Jr. as well as he could. Not really working out in his favor. We're saying before, Juice Me family really just needed to walk away with that Baron that Juice Me Mommy had stolen and, try to defend their base as much as they could. They definitely could have turtled out of that situation had they had more members with Baron available. But again, just a couple of questionable engages from Juice Me family, just, really taking them down, as well as not understanding that it is, at the time, I believe it was pretty heavily in favor of Labby's Ligma. It wasn't 22-10, but it was pretty heavily in favor of Labby's Ligma to just walk away with that Baron, count their wins and try and defend as best as possible instead of trying to assassinate certain members or to try and pick off certain members as well, only walking away with 2 Barons. I think that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back at that point.
Indeed. There's I don't know, the only thing that was really going really well for Juice Me REE was that Anivia. She was getting really strong, but they weren't really able to peel for her very well. Their team was just getting blown up and whatnot.
But in any case, GG's to Labby's Ligma.
Indeed.
I am grabbing the straw poll right now.
And who are we thinking for this MVP? We got quite a few candidates. Honestly, Elliot with that 7-1-8, or Euron, I should say, pretty good there, and also 21,000 damage on the Malphite, which is more than the Kaisa. So
yeah, definitely had a lot of high-profile engages, as well as just the fact that he was able to stay alive in a lot of those situations. Really calls towards the power that Malphite has as of right now. Chad Penguin, and then Biscuit Hat. Sorry about that. But yeah, I would definitely give it to Yurion at this point. Because like you said, 7-1 on a Malphite, being the high-profile engage that you are, you don't really walk away from a lot of those situations.
Yeah, and that bot lane engage that he had pretty early on in the game, where he walked all the way down and got a double ultimate on the Twitch and the Nami, and they were able to clean that up pretty good. So that was a big turning point for them, for sure.
Yeah. So here is the Brawl poll. Go ahead and paste it a couple times. And go ahead and vote for your game 2. Again, Biscuit Hat was voted for game 1 MVP. Just to let you guys know. Like I said, I think Yurion is definitely the MVP of this game.
Indeed. You could also, um, Labby had quite a good performance on Lee Sin too. He had a decent amount of pressure on the map and secured some good dragons, with the exception of that Baron smite at the end that Juice Me Mommy beat him out on. But so if there was a second person I'd give it to, it'd probably be Labby. But I think Elliot's the one that was clear for that game.
Yeah, I gotcha. By the way, hi Jingo PMA. How are you doing on this fight? Why did you message me hi Sebastian, by the way?
It just felt like the right thing to do. Also, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick, so
Alright.
have fun with stream.
Yeah, I will. Hey stream, how's it going? Go ahead and vote for your Game 2 MVP. We will be closing the poll at about 10:45. Biscuit Hat, if you're there, joined us. Oh, it was Blue. The captains of Juice Me Family, if please hop up into Casters 2, as well as the MVP Biscuit Hat, please jump in to Casters 2 as well. That way we can get the player of the game's interview going.
Yo, our captain left, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
So who would like to take his stand?
I mean, I guess I can here. I don't think anybody else is here.
Alright, so go ahead and get up to the player of the game interview, please.
No problem.
Thank you.
Alright, I am back now.
Alright, cool. So we're gonna give this about another minute. It does seem as if we have most of the votes accounted for.
Looks like Elliot and all of them joined up in the player of the game up there, so. Alright, we good to move up?
Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna split. Yurion is in fact your Game 2 MVP on the Malphite, 7-1, the GGs, as well as the 2-0 to Labby's Ligma. So we're just gonna go ahead and move up to the player of the game interviews.
Indeed.
Mid lane at one point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I think honestly that game came down to the fact that, like, even though we had York pretty far ahead, the rest of the lanes were just like too far behind. So if we would have had like either most likely bot lane parity, because there's no way I'm Aaron, especially since he's fucking 5.
Hey there, gentlemen.
Hey,
How's it going?
Hello.
Stop taking our questions away from us.
Yes.
So, GG's to Labby's Ligma, taking down Juice Me Family 2-0. Very good stuff. Labyrinth 1898. How do you guys feel bouncing back from last week into this 2-0 victory?
It definitely feels really good. I mean, I personally was, telling the team before the game and all this week, pretty much, I was saying to them, like let's just focus on constant improvement, like, and then the wins will come. It wasn't like a chat where it's like, we gotta win. It was just saying, hey, as long as we're keeping getting better, everybody makes playoffs in this split, so as long as we're improving, that's the most important.
I definitely understand that. Blue Flames, what did you guys have in this week? I know you understand. I'm sorry. I know that you went down 0-2 this week, but what was your thought process coming into this game, coming against Labby's Ligma, who were, in my opinion, one of the better teams in this division? What were your guys' comps like?
I mean, we were just kind of focused on making sure that we play our own game, as well as that we don't really like tilt, because I feel like we had definitely a little bit of a sour attitude after the first game last week, and this week it was much better. I think we kept focused the entire time, even after we started like losing the first game. I think our biggest improvement was we actually played from behind, because last week we knew we were behind, yet we kept like trying things like we were in parity or ahead. and it just never panned out. But this week, we were playing from behind. I think we stabilized fairly well for a strong period of time, and then there are just a couple of times we stepped up when we shouldn't have. I think mostly coming into that first game, we were like, Caleb's best champ's York. Let's see what happens if we get our best player on his best champ. See if we can play around it there. And same kind of thought process with my Aurelia. Recently, I've been playing a lot of it. I feel like I performed pretty well, but it got hard countered pretty badly by the Garrett.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I've even I've even played against Bear before in other games with my Aurelia and played well, but that Garrett was pretty rough.
Yeah, definitely understandable. I mean, that was kind of the tail of the tape in the first game. Bear just had a very substantial lead in the very beginning. But Maya, do you have any questions for MVP?
You're breaking up a bit.
Sorry, Maya, do you have any questions for our MVP?
So the Malphite pick was quite successful in game 2 for the side of Labby's Ligma, especially the roam that you did down bot lane, Elliot. About, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes into the game. So what were your thoughts behind that? Just going down there where you're just looking for sneaking behind them and trying to get a good ult on them?
Well, yes and no. It seems like whenever our team's talking, it's usually, talking about vision or us trying to make a play somewhere. And it seemed for about 2.5 minutes straight, we kept talking about going down to bot lane. And I thought maybe I should join up on that. And I decided to do that, and we got the tower. So, it was just, I kept pushing out top lane. I was winning trades. I felt like an Ornn can't take the tower that quickly if I let it be for, by itself.
All right.
So in that case, I just figured, go bot, keep the lead going.
That's fair.
Yeah, awesome. Also, Biscuit Hat being the game 1 MVP, what were your guys' thought process going into Juice Me Kami and Juice Me Hoagie? Hoagie being the AD carry against Sivir. What were your guys' thought process in that lane into trying to kind of snowball as you did in that first game?
I don't think we necessarily had a strict plan. Chris and I, when we bot lane together, we just kind of keep an open mind and look for, engages and fights and try to, analyze what's going on, take a step back, and look for a trade that we know we could definitely win. So with that being said, I think we had that sort of approach, and I noticed that both of Hoagie and their support kind of stacked up onto each other, and so it just worked out in our favor that we got that first blood double kill. But just like I said, when you play Alistar, you have to look for those engages as well as peel for your AD carry, and I think I was able to do that very well in the early game, which led us to that snowball.
Do you mind if I touch on that a little bit, Sebastian?
Yeah, go for it.
If anybody got to watch week 1 or looking at the stats from week 1, our bot lane was like our most consistent performer in those games. In fact, I think they ended up with positive scores and we kind of took that into week 2 and said, okay, these guys we can put them into pretty much whatever matchup as long as we get them on comfortable champions. And I think that's what Biscuit's saying. But we didn't necessarily have a plan around, okay, we got to get this counter pick in the bot lane. We were like, okay, if we can get, both games he played Kai'Sa and both games we played Alistar. So we said if we can get these champions that we know that they will perform solidly on in any matchup, that we can worry about the other half of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also just to chime in week 1, it seemed like I believe the Alistar was either picked and or banned as well as the Leona. So I was kind of strapping, looking, trying to pick around that. And those are some of the 2 most champions I played this season. So with having both of those options up, I had to pick those. So there wasn't really necessarily like Labby said a counter, but it was just left up.
So we got a question for Labby from the Twitch chat. From the one and only Chad Penguin. What's it like to have the most alpha EDC on your team lifting that boosted ass?
Wow. Okay, well, it's can be pretty terrifying actually, to be honest. Sometimes. That bot lane dive actually that you were talking about, where Elliot came down, Maye, was where all of a sudden Chad's like, I'm going in, and he ults in and basically instantly gets killed, and then he literally is like, okay, well, I might have gone like too deep on that one. That one's on me, guys. You know, and so you just kind of never know when that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It doesn't happen every time, that's for sure. And, but when it does happen, you know, it's like it's a rush.
It's a rush. It's a rush.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
So I have one personal question from from myself, I guess, for Juice Me Family. So you guys are now 0-4.
0-4. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are now 0-4. However, you guys still qualify for Gauntlet.
Yep.
What, in your guys' eyes, do you believe is the shift, or rather the change, that you guys have to make in order to be successful in Gauntlet? Because in reality, the regular season doesn't really matter, as Labby has stated. It only matters for seeding and everything and whatnot. What do you guys think you need to change up, or what do you guys think you need to adapt to in order to be more successful coming into this Gauntlet tournament? And maybe give us a little bit of insight on what it is you're going to do in this next week to at least try and get a game, maybe even get the 2-0 off as well. What do you guys think you need to change as far as your team comp is concerned?
So I don't think we need to do much different team comp wise. I think team fighting, split pushing, keep doing pretty standard comps. I think what we need to focus on is maintaining a positive attitude, like I had stated before. We made great improvements this week. I think we can keep that going through the next weeks. From there, I think we need to focus on doing what a lot of other teams are doing, which is talking a lot more about vision, making concerted efforts to actually make a play to get vision in the first place, and then from there move that to actually talking about and setting up and planning for plays of our own in the mid game. Because early game, the laning phase, we've usually had pretty decent success. Like obviously the first game this week was kind of a standout negative, but usually don't have terrible laning phases. But the moment we start to try and group for things like Dragon or plays in the bot lane, they always seem to go awry. So if we can figure out a way to call those plays correctly and execute them properly, I think we'll be in good shape.
Gotcha. Other than that, Maya, do you have any other questions?
No, but I think that'll be it for me at least.
I think that's good for me as well. But in any case, good job on, or rather, congratulations to Labby's Ligma picking up the 2-0 victory over Juice Me Family. Hopefully you can carry that momentum into the next week. Otherwise, I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for us here. This was Casting with Uncle Jemima and Maye, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
GG boys.
See you guys.
GG.